Kenya stands at a critical crossroads in its foreign policy. As a newly designated major non-NATO ally of the United States, Kenya has enjoyed unprecedented military and security cooperation with the world's superpower. But now, rising tensions over Kenya's growing relationship with China threaten to unravel this partnership. Welcome to our deep dive into this developing story and what it means for Kenyans and those following Kenya's political trends. In June 2024, former US President Joe Biden granted Kenya the prestigious status of a major non-NATO ally, making it the first sub-Saharan African nation to receive this honor. This designation places Kenya alongside global powers like Japan, Australia, and Israel in a special security partnership with the United States and the 32-member NATO alliance, which includes countries like UK, Germany, and Canada.
I'm proud to announce we're working with Congress to designate Kenya a major non-NATO ally. That's a fulfillment of years of collaboration.
My visit takes place at a time when democracy is perceived to be retreating worldwide. The accelerating drift towards regimes indifferent to democratic values is a deep concern to us, and I believe it is time the US, working with Kenya, deploys its capabilities and rally like-minded democratic countries to set up the course for democracy.
But what does this mean for Kenya? As a non-NATO ally, Kenya gains easy access to advanced US military technology, priority delivery of surplus equipment, and opportunities for joint training exercises. This partnership also opens doors to the US government loan guarantees for purchasing defense equipment, strengthening Kenya's role in regional counter-insurgency and peacekeeping missions. May 21, 2025, U.S. Senator Jim Risch, chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, issued a stark warning, referencing a post on X between Chinese ambassador to Kenya Guo Hien and United Democratic Alliance chairperson Cecil Mbarire. Risch called Kenya's warning ties with China troubling, as I quote, "Kenya plays a vital role in regional counterinsurgency and stability, but as our newest major non-NATO ally, Kenya's ties with China are troubling. Widening diplomacy with America's greatest competitor is not an alliance. It's a risk for the U.S. to assess."
Mr. Chairman, do you have any evidence that this individual gave aid and support? Because there's been no evidence provided by the administration. So I do not think we should accuse somebody who opposed the war.
This isn't the first time Risch has raised concerns. On May 13th, following President William Ruto's visit to Beijing, Risch warned that Kenya's deepening partnership with China could signal a shift in global allegiances beyond just economic cooperation.
Many African nations maintain troubling ties with China, including key national security partners. Just last month, President Ruto declared that Kenya a major non-NATO ally and China are co-architects of a new world order. It's time to reassess our relationship with Kenya and others who forge tight bonds with China. And it isn't just an embracement of China, but also the, quote, new world order, end quote.
Kenya's relationship with China has grown significantly in recent years, from infrastructure projects like the standard gauge railway to trade and investment deal. China has become a key partner for Kenyan development. However, this quote-unquote widened diplomacy, as Senator Risch called it, is raising eyebrows in Washington. For the US, China is a strategic competitor, and Kenya's close ties with Beijing are seen as a potential threat to the American interests in East Africa. The X post that sparked Jim's latest comments involved a seemingly routine exchange between the Chinese ambassador and a senior Kenyan official. Yet, for the US, it symbolizes a broader trend of Kenyan aligning with the rival power.
Today, as we honor 60 years of ties between our countries, it's clear that our people are the true strength of this partnership and a partnership that's working well. Nowhere is it more important than in the realm of innovation. That's why we have so many business leaders around this table, from Silicon Valley to Silicon Savannah. Our people have brought us forward and they've pioneered new technologies that are transforming millions of lives. I mean, literally millions of lives, and it's going to go beyond that. And we've invested in new industries that have generated billions of dollars economically. And they've created new opportunities that have lifted up our countries across both our continents.
Let's break down what Kenya stands to lose if the US reconsiders its major non-NATO ally status. First, there is access to sophisticated US military technology and munitions, which Kenya can purchase with fewer restrictions. This is critical for Kenya's role in fighting terrorism, particularly in the Horn of Africa, where groups like Al-Shabaab remain a threat. Second, Kenya benefits from joint training with US forces, enhancing its military capabilities in counter-insurgency and peacekeeping. Third, US loan guarantees make it easier for Kenya to finance defense equipment, boosting its military readiness for a country that plays a pivotal role in regional stability. These benefits are game changers.
To confirm to you that Kenya is a young tech country, and as you have said correctly, we have spent a lot of time working with our technology companies, our technology investors. We've had twinning relationships between Silicon Savannah in Kenya and Silicon Valley in the US. And this meeting is about what we can do together around digital jobs, business process outsourcing, research and development. And Mr. President, one very important...
If the US withdraws Kenya's non-NATO ally status, the consequences could be significant. Kenya's ability to access advanced US military technology could be restricted, weakening its defense capabilities. Joint training and counter-insurgency operations with US forces could scale back, leaving Kenya more vulnerable to regional threats. Economically, losing access to US loan guarantees could strain Kenya's budget for defense purchases. More broadly, a downgrade in US-Kenya relation could signal to other Western allies that Kenya is shifting toward China, potentially affecting trade and diplomatic ties.
Kenya and China are not merely trade partners. We are co-architects of a new world order, one that is fair, inclusive, and sustainable.
Kenya's role as a regional powerhouse in East Africa relies on its ability to balance relationships with global superpowers. Losing its major non-NATO ally status could diminish Kenya's influence on the continental stage, especially as the first African nation to achieve this designation. At the same time, Kenya's growing ties with China could open new economic opportunities, but risk alienating Western patterns. For President William Ruto, navigating this delicate balance is critical. Kenya's foreign policy decisions in the coming months will shape its global standing and its ability to address domestic challenges like security and economic growth.
Important aspect is the CHIPS Act, which hopefully we will be able to have a conversation about in the coming days. And Your Excellency, it speaks to the wealth of opportunity that exists between Kenya and the United States. Our young population, talented, educated, innovative, and American technology that is cutting edge, and investment capital and investors that are hungry for opportunities, not just in Kenya, but in our continent, is a perfect match for this moment. I think we have a historic moment to explore investment opportunities.
So, what does this mean for ordinary Kenyans? A stronger military partnership with the US enhances national security, which is vital for stability and economic growth. But a shift toward China could bring infrastructure and investment. Though it may come with strings attached, for Kenyans, the outcome of this diplomatic tug-of-war will impact everything from job opportunities to regional peace. As Kenya navigates these global alliances, staying informed is more important than ever. What do you think Kenya should prioritize? Share your thoughts in the comment section. For Maisha TV, I'm William Juma.